Hi friends, I am Professor Govind Narayan Purohit, your friend, and today we discuss about tetanus in animals, the science and therapy. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do subscribe to it and watch the video till end so that you know about the treatment for tetanus. Tetanus is caused by the bacterium Clostridium tetani and it affects nearly all species of animals. But is common in horses. The Clostridium tetani occurs because of entry into through the wounds or cut surfaces. The bacterium produces a neurotoxin called tetanospasmin, which affects the nervous system. And the bacteria that cause tetanus are found in the environment, including soil, animal feces, horse dung, and through the soil and through the cuts, it enters into the animal body. Horses are known to be carriers of Clostridium tetani, and their feces can potentially harbor the bacterium. So, horse dung is a potential source for Clostridium tetani. The clinical signs that appear with tetanus are stiffness and rigidity of the muscles, particularly in the jaw, that is why it is known as lockjaw, and the limbs. The animal may have spasm and tremors, and the animal may also face difficulty in swallowing. Sometimes the animal will like to, uh, they there will be erect ears and stiff tail, especially in horses, and animal becomes uh, hypersensitivity to touch or sound. So these are the signs of tetanus in animals. There will be uh, there may be respiratory difficulties. An animal will find it difficult to stand, sometimes even sit, and other signs will include the opisthotonus or arching of the back condition, the extrusion of the third eyelid or the nictitating membrane, what it is called, especially in horses, and this is characteristic sign of tetanus. The diagnosis is based on clinical signs and history of potential exposure to Clostridium tetani, example wound contamination, and laboratory tests are often not practical or necessary for diagnosis of tetanus. The differential diagnosis may include other neurological conditions causing muscle stiffness and spasm, but tetanus is easy to diagnose. The therapy includes supportive care, providing a quiet and calm environment to minimize stimuli that trigger the spasm, keep the animal in a calm area where nobody can disturb, then cleaning and debriding wounds to prevent further bacterial growth and toxin production is essential to prevent further spread. Antibiotics, the administration of penicillin or metronidazole to eliminate the bacteria is essential, and one should start giving antibiotics like penicillin, which are the drugs of choice. Then one should administer tetanus antitoxin. The administration of tetanus antitoxin to neutralize the circulating toxin in the animal's body, and the tetanus antitoxin uh, should be administered at the dose rate of 1500 to 3000 international units intravenously for a horse. The dose may be repeated after an evaluation later by a vet. So, after administration, a vet can evaluate whether more dose is needed to this horse or not. And after evaluation, one can repeat the dose of tetanus antitoxin. Then muscle relaxants like uh, muscle relaxation is required. So administration of muscle relaxants or sedatives should be given to control muscle spasm and rigidity of the muscles. So methocarbamol 15 to 25 milligram per kg orally every 6 to 8 hours, or diazepam 0.03 to 0.1 milligram per kg intravenously or intramuscularly should be given and repeated as and when needed for muscle relaxation. Other muscle relaxants such as guaifenesin can be administered intravenously at a dosage of 50 to 100 milligram per kg along with the intravenous fluids to affect the muscle relaxation of the tetanus affected horse. Administration of analgesics to alleviate pain associated with the muscle spasm is a requisite, and a horse should receive the analgesics or anti-inflammatory drugs like clonixin meglumine intravenously at a dosage of 0.5 to 1.1 milligram per kg every 12 to 24 hours till the condition improves. Providing adequate nutrition and hydration is essential to support the overall health and immune function of the horse, and this should be taken care of. Now, prevention. Vaccination against tetanus to prevent further infections is essential, and horses need tetanus vaccination very frequently. We'll talk how what will be the schedule. The standard initial vaccination protocol for tetanus toxoid should be used for vaccination, and this typically involves a primary series of two vaccination administered 4 to 6 weeks apart. Right? A booster vaccination should be administered approximately 6 to 12 months after the primary series. So, horses will need a booster vaccination after the primary series. Subsequent booster vaccinations should be given annually, and at some places they recommend every 2 years or every 3 years. But uh, it is primarily suggested to administer vaccinations every year to adult horses. Horses that sustain a wound or undergo surgery greater than 6 months after the previous tetanus booster should be revaccinated with tetanus toxoid immediately at the time of injury or at the time of any surgical intervention so that the horse remains safe. Adult horses previously unvaccinated against tetanus or of unknown vaccinal history, a two-dose series of tetanus toxoid within 4 to 6 week interval between doses is strongly recommended. Then pregnant mares uh, with a no pregnant mares which have been unvaccinated or are of unknown vaccinal history. A two-dose primary series of tetanus toxoid should be given with a 4 to 6 week interval between doses. At, and some people consider uh, revaccinate 4 to 6 weeks before foaling, and some clinicians consider that mares should be administered a tetanus vaccine immediately after foaling. So hope the information was good. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to GNP Sir, and give your suggestions and comments and likes, and subscribe to GNP Sir. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Have a nice time. Have a great time. Bye bye.